Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, I have some interesting news for you. It has to do with the Trek Rosco 6. So as you know, if you watch the channel, I have a Trek Rosco 6 year 2022. And that bike is fantastic. I love it. A lot of people give me grief on the comments on my reviews on that bike, saying that it's not a real Rosco, it's not this or that. Suck up your losses, sell it, and buy a real bike, the 7, 8, or 9. So that bike has a 141 dropout boost spacing in the rear, which is one of its biggest downfalls. The other big downfall of that bike is it does have the older geometry. It's kind of dated, the geo. I'll tell you a little bit about what I've done to my Rosco 6 to make it more trail worthy. So I've upgraded the fork to a RockShox Judy, 120 mil. So I kept the same travel as stock. I didn't want to void the warranty or anything, or put any undue stresses on the frame. I upgraded the rear wheel to a Line Comp 40 from Bontrager. That wheel does come with the 108 tooth engagement hub. So that was like probably one of the best upgrades I did on that bike, along with the fork. Then I went ahead and put Shimano XT 2-piston brakes on with the XT IceTech rotors, 180 front, 180 back. That was a game changer. I got rid of the MT200s, and then I got the DRXTs, and game changer. I also put XR4 tires on it just recently. I put 27.5 by 2.6 Bontrager XR4s on, and those tires are phenomenal. Okay guys, this is it. 2024 sees the release of a 2024 version of the Rosco 6. Finally, the Rosco 6 has adopted the same frame set as the 7, 8, and 9. Finally. So let me run through the specs because they're interesting. So as you can see here, we've got the new, it says new Rosco 6. This is on the Trek website today. They must have just updated their website recently because this was not here last week. So Rosco 6 2024 edition, you see that price? $1,449.99. That price has not changed since the previous edition. Okay? When I bought my bike for $1199.99. But that was before, well, that was kind of while COVID was coming into the scene. So then Trek increased the prices just like every other bike brand. Trek increased the price to $1,449.99. Now, the Rosco 6 has been at that price for like 2 years almost. So the fact that Trek has introduced the new frame set, and we'll get into some components here that have changed. This bike has changed actually quite a bit. And kept at the same price is really smart, in my opinion. You're getting a way better bike for the same price. So this just says to me, my Rosco 6 is now in value. I'll never get the money I put into it back, which is fine because that's basically how the bike industry works. So anyway, let's get into the specs of this bike because I'm pretty excited about this. So as you can see here, the frame is now an Alpha Gold aluminum. Well, it's always been. It has a tapered head tube, which it did before. Internal derailleur and dropper post routing, which it did before. The ISCG 05 and threaded bottom bracket. Okay, that's all the same. But you'll notice there, boost 148. Yay, finally. Finally. Yes, people, I'm passionate about this. The fork. Let's talk about the fork. Yes, it's still an SR Sun Tour, but it's an XCR 34. So there was an XCR 32 on my version. So the 2022 has an XCR 32. So now we're going to the 34. So a little bit wider diameter stanchion. That's going to make a big difference in the stiffness and longevity of the fork. Air spring. It has an air spring. Before, it was coil. That fork, when I took it off, weighed over 6 pounds. Like, it's crazy. The L&R damper. So it comes with a damper, hydraulic lockout, tapered steer. That's another biggie. Tapered steer, because my Roscoe, when I took the stock forks off, it has a bloody straight steer tube. So then I had to go get a new, basically all you needed was a new crown race for the fork. But you can't just go out and buy a crown race, you have to buy a headset. So I bought a headset, installed the lower cup of the headset, not even the upper cup. I installed the lower cup of the headset, put the new crown race on the used fork that I bought, and installed it. Bing bang, you're done. But this has a tapered steer tube already, so they're not jacking you there, right? It's a good thing. A 44 millimeter offset, which is what the stock fork was on my 6. The boost 110 by 15 bolt on through axle, 140 mil travel. Okay, so it's right in line with the other Roscoes. So it now has 140 mil travel, air fork. Yes, it's Sun Tour, but it has blacked out stanchions, which I like better than the silver. This to me is a good upgrade from the stock bike in the 2022 version, my bike stock. This fork, yes, it's Sun Tour, but I'm telling you, I think Sun Tours are underrated. Sun Tour makes really good forks. And I think that this would be a good fork. So, max compatible fork travel on this frame now is 150 mil. Okay? Compared to mine, max travel was 120. So, what came stock is the max you can put on it without voiding a warranty. So, all really good stuff so far. Then we got hubs. Okay, so I'm scrolling down and I'm expecting to see stupid Formula hubs. No, they're Shimano hubs. Now they are center lock, which I'm not a big fan of center lock, but they're center lock. So the front hub is Shimano TC500 alloy, and the rear hub is Shimano TC500 alloy with center lock as well. But let's see the key things here. They are Shimano hubs, okay, not Formula, they're Shimano, okay? That's a good thing. They are boost 110 by 15 in the front, a 148 by 12 in the back. Hallelujah. Thank you, Trek. I'm sorry, but this is a big thing. This is a big thing, and I'll get to it at the end here. And then, of course, Bontrager switch through axle removable lever. That's just a proprietary lever. So the rims. Let's talk about the rims. So I'm expecting to see whatever on here, but no, they're Bontrager line TLR 30s. So they're tubeless ready. They're the line Bontrager wheels. I've ridden my Bontrager line 40 for a season and a half. I love that wheel. It's pretty much indestructible, at least for what I ride. These rims are really good. They're Bontrager line TLR 30s. It's phenomenal. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. Now the tires, Bontrager Gunnison Elite XR. I've never heard of the Gunnison. I can't find any information on it right now anyway. But all that I've seen online, which is not much, the Bontrager XR4s come stock on the 2024 Chuck Roscoe 6. I'm not sure what this Gunnison Elite is all about. I'm really interested to see. But let's take a gander here. So the extra small frame, Roscoe 6 comes with the 27.5 by 2.6. But anything above extra small, you're getting a 29er by 2.6. To me, that is the sweet spot. 29 with 2.6 inch rubber. It's the sweet spot right now. It's like the best trail width tire, in my humble opinion. A lot of people like the 2.4 or 2.5s. I really like the 2.6s. That's what I've got on my Roscoe right now. So, really good stuff here. Like really good stuff. I'm really impressed with the hubs, especially that come on this bike, and because the 7 comes with Shimano hubs. So this bike comes with Shimano hubs. They're not Formula. So really impressed with the wheels, with the rim set here too. And I love the fact that they spec 29 by 2.6 inch tires on this bike. Really good. Now, the interesting part here is a tire part here. It says Bontrager TLR sealant. This bike comes tubeless set up, not just tubeless ready. This bike comes tubeless. Yeah. Super smart move. Now, here's where things get interesting. Drivetrain. So on my bike is the Dior 10-speed. Tried, tested, and true. Absolutely 100% bomb-proof drivetrain. I love it. It may weigh a little bit, but I've loved that drivetrain. It's literally bomb-proof. So when I see this, I see the Shimano Qs. Now this is a new Shimano spec, okay? Qs U4000. I won't get into the details of the Qs here, but this is new. So they've decided to do away with the Dior. So I see where they've gone here. So they've put the upgrades where it matters most, right? Now this Shimano Qs, I've read nothing but good things about it. But it is new. So take that for what it's worth. Crank. I'm looking at the extra large here. 175 mil length cranks. I would prefer to see 170 mil straight across the board, but whatever. They did what they did here. It's still the 28 tooth steel ring in the front. Then they've got the Shimano threaded cartridge for the bottom bracket. So it is a square taper still. That has not changed. But they do spec a Shimano cartridge in there now. Not it was an off-brand on my bike until I changed it to a Shimano cartridge. But you know what? Square taper is underrated too. I mean, yes, a Holotech type style bottom bracket is much better for longevity and progression. But really, I haven't had much trouble with square taper. And I really ride my bike. Like I use it as it was meant to be used, as a tool. I really do ride my bike. So I ride it hard. So yes, I have some clicking and whatever. So I'm on my 3rd bottom bracket cartridge in 3 seasons. So if that tells you anything. The Shimano Link Glide LG300. So this is the new type cassette that Shimano's making, this Link Glide. And as you can see here, it's an 11 by 46. It's a 9-speed. Whoa! Hold on a second here. Are we going back? Is Trek taking the Roscoe 6 back in time again? Well, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, seriously? And then I looked, 11 to 46 tooth. Okay, I have that on my 10-speed right now, 11 to 46. So the range is the same as the 10-speed. So they've taken out a cog, but they've kept the range. So, and it's still a 28 tooth in the front. Some people like that, some people don't. If you use the bike as a commuter, you might want to put a 32 or a 34 on the front. For what I use it for, I love the 28 in the front. So this is basically the same range as what I have, the 10-speed. So it's the same. So it's the Shimano cassette. It's not a Sunrace cassette or anything. So that's good. I can see that on Marin's spec the Sunrace cassette. Meanwhile, everything else is Shimano. So it's interesting here to see where Trek's going, and I like this because keep it the same. If you have a Shimano drivetrain, it should all be Shimano. The chain, Shimano LG 500, whatever. Pedals, we won't even talk about those because stock pedals are garbage. Now, here's another interesting thing. The seat post. Yes. Extra large, medium up to extra large comes with 150 mil travel. That is sweet. Right now, I have 125. Yes, that 25 mil will make a huge difference to get that saddle out of the way. I could drop it down another 25 mil. That would be awesome. Okay, brakes. We're into Tektro country here. Now, I've seen some spec'd with Shimano MT200, some spec'd with the Tektro here. This is right off the Trek website, so I'm going to go with Tektros. So they are the this Tektro brake set is the HD M275s, which is very comparable to the Shimano MT200s. They are 2-piston brakes. But what I find really interesting here is they're speccing across all sizes. They're speccing a 203 rotor on the front and a 180 on the back. So this bike is really geared toward a trail hardtail, and I really like this. Like, this is really good. Trek did this. A 203 on the front and a 180 on the back for an entry-level hardtail. So what it doesn't specify is whether or not they're resin-only rotors. Well, I'm assuming that they're going to be resin-only rotors. I can't imagine that they're going to be both compatible for resin or metal pads. If they are, it's that much better. And then we come down here under weight. At a medium, it's 31.75 pounds. So it's going to weigh basically the same as, because mine is a large frame. So mine weighs about just under 33 pounds. So for an entry-level hardtail, yeah, there's cheaper bikes out there that are entry-level hardtails. But Trek really got it right with this new and improved Roscoe 6, in my opinion. My humble opinion. So head tube angle of my Roscoe is 67.3 for a large frame. The new one is 65 degrees. So yeah, that is about as slack as I'd want a bike, especially for hardtail. And with the 29-inch wheels, the 140 mil travel on the fork, the 1x9 with a range of a 10-speed, the longer dropper post, the better spec tires, the fact that it comes tubeless out of the shop, not just tubeless ready, but tubeless out of the shop, you can't go wrong with this bike. You just can't. Whether you're starting or if you're an intermediate and you want to add a hardtail to your fleet of bikes, if you're fortunate enough to have a fleet, the Roscoe 6 2024 edition. Come on, man. Trek, finally, thank you. You got it right. Roscoe 6 2024, if you're looking for a good hardtail trail bike to start with and highly upgradable platform, like endless upgrades you could do on this platform, then the Roscoe 6 is probably one of the better values out there right now. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you found this video helpful. Take care, keep the rubber side down. As my son always says, stay dirty. See you on the next one.